First impressions are really important. And for us, what's important is some of the basics, like, did they provide a cover letter with the resume that they submitted to us to let us know how they feel they can fit into the company and the position? And another one would be, are they at the interview on time? And were they prompt in responding to any phone calls or emails that we had sent out and setting up a time?
For anybody coming in to provide their application or for a job interview, the first impression is actually extremely important. I'm looking for eye contact right off the bat when someone's coming in. I am looking at their general appearance and whether they just got out of bed, and if they actually are interested in coming in here for a job interview. I'm looking to see if they're a polite individual, if they're a good speaker, because we are a team here, so they do have to communicate with everyone that we have here. I'm looking for somebody who actually knows something about our business. They've done some pre-information about learning what we do out here.
A good first impression is going to be someone that presents themselves well, clean clothing, good hygiene, and friendly if they can be. I know interviews are very nerve-wracking, very nervous, but we need to see that personality come through too.
Being able to communicate, for sure. Being able to articulate, being on time, definitely the ability to listen. Taking the time to answer the question thoughtfully. Being prepared for a job interview as opposed to just showing up and expecting a job. Understanding that nobody's perfect. Lots of times during an interview I'll ask, describe a couple things that you would like to improve on, and then following up with, give me examples how.
Well, the great first impression I always thought was when they show up ready to work. But being able to look at somebody and go, you know what, I could probably put them right on the floor right away. I'm actually ready to work today.
So great first impression for me is one, just the initial appearance. So right when you walk in, are you dressed to impress? It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I mean, you don't have to show up in a suit here to interview, but just you look put together. That's a big one for us. Obviously, we're in the serving and customer service industry, so you have to look put together, especially when you're serving our customers on the retail counter or you're serving customers at a table, you're serving them. Second is that you feel confident. So I like when people ask me questions and stuff like that, and just able to hold a conversation and not just yes or no answers. And I try and ask open-ended questions, so you can't really say yes or no, but it really gives me a good idea, if you can communicate properly, that I know you're going to be able to communicate with a customer when you get into that role here.
For me, when I'm interviewing candidates, first impression is usually pretty important. I tend to make a decision pretty quickly in the process. As you develop a conversation or rapport with someone, there is the opportunity for them to bring forward their information, their attributes, their personality, and that's really the focus for us, is the personality. Maybe not necessarily what their experience is, but what their attributes are or their aptitudes are, and we can teach a lot of the skills. So for us, it's about being a good team member and being a productive team member. I
would say the potential employee, has 10 minutes to distinguish themselves from other employees. That would mean eye contact, good communication skills, ability to listen, and in the ability to engage the employer. I think you can quickly tell who's just dropping off a resume versus who is trying to get a job with your company.
A great first impression is someone that comes in who's, I think, confident, has a positive attitude. They show interest in the job and maybe a little bit of knowledge about that job or maybe the business. I think also someone who comes prepared to, communicate, answer questions. They've put some effort into, preparing for that interview, have come in proper attire, they look professional. Someone that you would, at first glance, you could see, yeah, I can see that person working here.
In a job interview, you have to convince the employer that you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have the abilities to do the job. So that's all very important. But what you're also trying to convince the employer of is that you're the kind of person that they're going to want to have around for 8 hours a day. So that's where your soft skills come in, and that's where that's all so important. A lot of the things that we look for here at the hospital in terms of soft skills are things like compassion. Can you demonstrate compassion when working with patients and people who might be in a difficult situation? Can you demonstrate excellent communication skills? Because if you're in a crisis situation, you got to have really effective communication skills to be able to deal with that. And we also look as well at things like your ability to maintain composure, and just be calm and collected in situations where you're under a lot of stress.
I would say one of the biggest mistakes I see from people is that they come out here for a job interview and they're actually not selling themselves. They're getting an application, they're providing the resume with just information about their education history and where they worked before, but they're not actually selling themselves as to why they should be coming here and working for us. Another issue that we would have with people is that they come out here and they don't know anything about us. So they're just bringing an application out here, I'm looking for a job, and that's it. Having somebody who's done some background check definitely is, it creates more interest for us and it creates more interest for them, and then we have a better dialogue.
Well, one thing I really look for is honesty in their answers, and I'm not looking for fake answers, because sometimes we have people that come here that have very little soft skills, but if they have that willingness to learn, and when they communicate that they do want to learn those skills. Just to be able to be honest, for example, if they say I'm kind of a shy person, that's great. At least I know what I'm working with, and then I'm not going to put them in a place in the restaurant where they're going to be overwhelmed, but they're going to gradually work up to have those great communication skills that would be essential here.
We're looking for people to join our company, and they have to really want to be there. Looking for things like, are they enthusiastic? Are they polite? Are they respectful? Are they on time? And just seeing if there would be a good fit for the culture of our company.
I love when people show up early. It means you're going to show up early to shift. That's a big one for us, is we need people that are going to show up on time and be reliable. That's probably the biggest one. And then just when you're here, that you're ready to work, and that you're good to go. You don't have to get ready or anything like that. You show up and you're ready to work.
We need teamwork here for sure, because there's not one department where any one person can run a department. We have to work together as a team, so it's vital for us. Great skills for teamwork, again, back to that communication, active listening to each other, and also just being respectful and kind to one another.
I think that good communication is important in your life. I think that if you're willing to communicate, you'll get the best results, you can solve problems, you have better teamwork, you can accommodate the needs of your guests a lot better. So I think that's a really important skill that I think that will benefit you, like I said, in any part of your life, but particularly in your job too.
Well, anyone who has the good skills that we need here will definitely advance in the workplace, because it shows that they're wanting to be a leader and they're a good team player. So having somebody who's not shy, who keeps their head up, who is always coming up with better ideas and things to make things more productive, they're the kind of person that's going to advance in the business.
Our business is built around teamwork. So right from the top down, everybody's willing to do whatever it would take to get the job done, okay? So the median age of our workforce is about 60, 61, okay? So we're gonna lose a third of our workforce in the next decade. We will look at anybody who shows confidence, the desire to work, but the second that you're late or not on time or absent for no particular good reason, typically that relationship ends with us.
I think a professional image is very important. You're representing your company that you work for, and of course professional image is going to differ where you go, right? Here we expect everyone to have clean uniforms at the start of their day, name tags to be presentable. I think that shows the people that you're servicing that we care about what we're doing, and we care about providing them the best service.
I think that having a professional presentation is important, and I think that can be the way that you, not only what you wear and how you present yourself physically, but also how you communicate. I think that that's all a part of it, that you speak with manners and you're clear, and I think that people, not only what they see but what they hear, it's important to present yourself professionally, both in your appearance and how you speak.
Social media for us in the workplace, actually, we use social media to advertise our business. We also actually check out employees or potential employees through social media, because I mean, that's the one thing. Make sure that if you're putting something out about yourself on the internet, that actually it's good. Be careful what you're putting out there.
Not all leaders in the workplace are coming in wearing a suit and a tie. Leadership skills are really important in the workplace because you've got to have somebody who's going to do the right thing every time, no matter what.
I think the best leaders I've seen are people that are willing to just get in there and do things that need to be done, particularly in this restaurant here, because there's so many different aspects of the restaurant that need to be fulfilled. And so sometimes it's not necessarily the person that's got the best education or the most talkative, but it's just a person that is willing to get right into that role, help out when things need to be done.
Not everyone might be a leader, but for those that are, they're going to lead by example. They're going to take the initiative to go forward, to learn, to do things. I think for a great leader, it's got to be someone who's willing to learn and willing to go back to basics if they have to do that as well.
To be an effective team player, first thing is just be always focusing on the customer, be supportive, and be able to work with your coworkers, and then always have the company goals in mind as you go about your day-to-day business. Out of this whole thing, if somebody hears that and people are focusing on that, they'll do well whatever company they end up at.
What specific kinds of trades and skills are you looking for here?
Yeah, we do have a big kind of workforce, several different departments. I think that we look for people who are ambitious and hardworking.
The most sought after position that we're looking for right now is called a 310T, which is a truck and coach mechanic. We have welders, we do need welders, we need machinists, but the mechanics right now are the most sought after industry in Canada. We do have parts people here, we have service advisors. Out of 28 employees, we've got a lot of different positions and a lot of skilled people here.
So we range in terms of technicians that fix photocopiers and office equipment. We have salespeople, we have admin staff, we have customer service agents, we have retail clerks, we have computer technicians as well, and we have a few pilots on staff.
Oh, we have all positions in each department. So deli clerk, bakery clerks, even to the bakers, meat cutters, our grocery clerks, cashiers, customer service, wine and beer. It's even administrative ones as well. So you name it, we probably have it.
Terrific.
So I mean, we're always looking for kitchen staff. That's number one. We always seem to be looking for good, talented people that want to work in our back of house. Always looking for brewers as well. So typically for a brewer, we're looking for someone that's gone to school to be a brewer, or they've worked in another brewery before, or they have a science background and have gone to university. But we also have taken people in that have had zero experience and have just started helping us kegging. And just more of a labor position, and then they've moved into that role. So we love cross-training, we love training, hiring internally and stuff like that.
Currently, we're looking for operators. Experienced operators is what we're focusing on at the moment. We've spent the last 2 years hiring locally, hiring operators that we can train and develop and grow internally. We've got a really good foundation and base on that. But we've had a bit of turnover, so now we're looking for some experienced people to bring out from the outside, because we always need that level of experience to be able to grow and train different operators that we bring in that may not have so much experience. So that's our focus at the moment for recruitment.
So we're looking to fill positions for personal support workers. There's a major crunch at this time for personal support workers in Northern Ontario in particular, and in the province in general. It's also very, very difficult to attract nurses such as RPNs and registered nurses to work in a community like this because of how remote and how isolated it is. So we're kind of always on the lookout for those too.
So Raleigh Falls Timber is currently looking for equipment and operator positions. That could be feather buncher operators, grapple skidder operators, processing operators at roadside, bulldozer operators, backhoe operators. Ritchie's Trucking is looking for truck drivers. We have tandem gravel truck drivers, belly dumps. We own graders, we have rock trucks, we have front end loaders. We have staff positions that are available. Some of our staff certainly will be moving on, which require a little bit more technical skill. Not necessarily university, but a little bit of technical knowledge. With that said, with the right attitude, it's not a mandatory requirement for us.
Well, we're a part of the restaurant industry, and I've told many of the young people there, this is not only an level job, but if you enjoy customer service, if you enjoy the products that this industry serves, you can have a full career by it. And I think that that's missed sometimes with some young people. They don't realize that within 5 years, you can be starting working promotions and be able to, be a supervisor, assistant manager, manager.